These thoughts up in my head, things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here. I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I'm your host, Ed, and as always, journey with me as we pursue greatness in a world full of chaos. Chaos it has been. I'm going to be honest with you. I have had a couple of episode ideas in my mind. I've tried to record them. They were trash. And I don't want to put out half-hearted content. So this is another attempt with the hope that when it's all said and done, you gain something from it. I don't know what it's gonna be. We just gonna let the spirit, and just kind of figure out where we go from there. But as usual, I want to thank you for tuning in and thank you for your support. Whether that has been comments through TikTok, Instagram, sharing videos, liking videos, subscribing to YouTube, new followers to TikTok and Instagram. Thank y'all so much for I guess jumping on this journey with me and pursuing greatness in a world full of chaos. So you definitely have something great inside of you. I hope that you're gaining something from what I put out there. And at the end of the day, we just gonna keep trying to stay consistent, and stay moving with what we got, and just kind of go from there. As always, if you'd like to support, you can find me Spotify, Google, Apple. Those are the main like streaming podcasts, but then you can also find me on YouTube as well at the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. So if you want to see my face instead of just hear my voice, you can go do that. If you in the car, obviously you shouldn't be looking at a screen while you're driving. So that's why the Spotify's, the Apples, the Google Podcast, that's what it's there for. So make sure you subscribe to that or share it with somebody who's looking for a podcast. Tell them about overthinking thoughts and tell them not to be so anxious about anything, but there's somebody that deals with it daily and wants to give you encouragement. So that's kind of where we are with this thing. Of course, if you want the quick flicks and trying to, see some shortened versions of what we're talking about in the podcast, if you don't have a lot of time but you need some time, I got you covered. You can find me over on Instagram at Overthinking Thoughts Pod. You can also find me at TikTok on Overthinking Thoughts Pod, pulling segments from the podcast of important points that I think that are important to you. But then also, you want to get the full gamut of everything, we got you covered there too. So, man, I had these ideas swirling in my head and I caught myself overthinking. Shame on me. I was trying to figure out, I guess, I don't know, if I was doing things the right way or if the podcast was going as well as it should have. And then I found myself just spouting off things and then I realized like, man, it ain't working. um but then I kind of sat and I started thinking about like, okay, what would I tell somebody else that was in this situation? Like, it just seems like you keep hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock and you keep trying and you're trying and you're trying and no matter what you do, it's just not, the words ain't wording, the content ain't contenting, the mind is blank and you're just like at the brink of just wrapping it up and going to bed. I would encourage you that you have a voice, you have a vision, you have something inside of you that's very unique to the world that nobody else has, and we need that gift. So, although it may not go the way that you think it is, and you might not think that it's going to hit, you never know your words, the impact that you have, if it's coming from a place of love, if it's full of encouragement, if it's full of just belief and success, you just might inspire somebody to do something great. So don't silence yourself if you feel like, oh, I don't know if I'm capable or I got too much in my head. I might not be good enough. I might not be strong enough. You might just be the key that somebody needs to unlock their own potential. And they will be able to do that simply because of something you said or something that you did. Kind gestures go a long way. Talking with people goes a long way. Encouraging people goes a long way. You just never know what people are dealing with and what they go through on a daily basis. You get some that are at the brink of giving up on life itself, and just you smiling or you waving or you talking to them might be the one thing that they needed to keep going. And I encourage you to tap into, what is it? What's your gift? What's your gift that you have that you can share with this world? And it doesn't have to be this spectacular, like, I need to reach millions of people type gift. What do you do that's great that can help others? Are you a good communicator? Are you a good listener? You good at music? You good at being there for people? You good at helping people? You good at service? You good at fellowship? You good at writing, reading? Like, what is it that you're good at? Tap into that. Utilize that. No gift is too small for this world, but we have to quit playing small. We have to quit playing like who we are isn't good enough when you were made in the image of God to do great things. So if you're made to do that, why would you sell yourself short? Don't. Don't. You got too much to give to this world. You got the possessions that are inside of you. Now it's just the time to unwrap your gift and show what your present is, and be present in the moment to give it to somebody. I think that me included, we get so overwhelmed with our thoughts. We get so overwhelmed with our ideas and our mind and our what other people are doing and what they're saying. And that can be, man, that could cause some fatigue, because some of us take that home with us and we never unpack it. Some of us will allow the negative to be a blanket and keep us covered. And then we stay in that position and never uncover the truth to figure out what the positive is. And I'm here to encourage somebody today to reach within, look inside of your heart and see what is it that you possess that's going to allow this world to be better, or allow the people around you to be better. Allow yourself to be better. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately and said anything positive? Have you been your own hype man? Have you encouraged yourself? And if you haven't, why haven't you? Do you think you're not good enough to do it? Do you think that you aren't as great as, say, somebody else in your circle, or somebody that you're looking at and wishing that they were them? Why are you acting small when you're supposed to be standing tall, you know? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I get it though, because our mind is very powerful, and it can play a lot of tricks on us. it it will make us think things that aren't real, and then we take those thoughts and we put them into the real world. And now, because of it, we've not only hindered ourselves, but we've imprisoned our own gifts, we've imprisoned our own soul, and we forget that we have the key to get ourselves out of it. I've been in that position before, and it's terrible, because you put yourself under, and you allow so many people to walk over you, and that's not cool to you. It's not, because I know you have something in you. And as of late, one of the things that I've been seeing a lot, through some of the things that I've been posting, is that there's been a lot of there's been a lot of people who, when I say, like, I believe in you or I'm encouraging you, I get a lot of, man, thank you. Thank you. I needed this. I needed that. But what it made me think was, like, it's bigger than me, because you might have something that you need to say that will encourage somebody. So put it out there. You might have something that you went through that could be powerful for somebody else. Like, for instance, I was watching the Residual Impact podcast. Shout out to y'all. Y'all doing great things over there, and I love everything that y'all doing. But one of the hosts was talking about a personal situation that they were going through in life. If you want to know what that is, you need to tap into that. But then he talked about how so many people reached out and was like, "Man, I really needed that." And he didn't realize the impact that it was going to have. It was something that he was hesitant about, but he felt guided to speak about it. And just by him being in that position and allowing himself to grow and say what he needed to say, it allows so many other people to then look at that and go, "Man, I needed to hear that. Like maybe I need to analyze what I'm going through, or I need to reach out and let them know, yo, I've been through the same thing. We got you. Like you gonna be okay." So you just never know, man. Like you never know what people need. I try to find the good in people even when they act bad, and I know some of them, some the people be people, and man, they say some things that you might not agree with, and you like, boy, I'm gonna love you from a distance. I'm gonna pray for you, but you know that doesn't mean that you change your character though. You don't change up because somebody else is acting different. You don't switch up and try to be in the in crowd, right? Nah, you not meant for that. See, maybe you're not in certain groups or certain circles because you would outgrow them and you're bigger than them. And maybe you're not walking with a particular crowd because you are actually a leader and you about to have people following you. Maybe you aren't next to the person that you think has it all because you're the one that actually has more than them. Some people be putting on fronts. It's hard for them to see where you are because you keeping it real. That's the difference. Give yourself some grace on that and know that if you're working toward greatness and you're working toward making progress, it's going to look different, but it's okay. And not everybody's going to understand what you're going through. Not everybody can walk the same path that you walk. Not everybody can wear the same shoes that you wear, but they can at least see the example you're setting. And maybe that gives them some strength to carry on to, right? You just never know. But I guess I just want to encourage you to look within yourself and find who you truly are as a person. Finding your identity is key. Knowing who you are, knowing your worth is even better. But the one thing I definitely want you to do, hey, stop beating yourself up. Some of you guys are out there struggling right now. And not because of circumstances, but because of what you think of yourself individually. If you got the power to say all these negative things about yourself and believe it, don't you think you got the power to say positive things and believe that? Don't you think that you have the power to speak life and to lift yourself up and to go after great things and to be great, like, and to really like pursue the things that you said you were going to pursue? So you got this voice inside of you, right? Telling you all these things that you can't do, and you'll believe that, but you won't believe it when you tell yourself, "Yo, I can definitely do this." What's wrong with you, man? Like, why are we listening to the negative when we could easily listen to the positive? And I know what you're thinking. Boy, it sounds easier. It's easier said than done, right? Practice. Mention 5 good things about yourself that you love, and then remind yourself daily, and then walk in that purpose. And then when a negative voice comes up, ask yourself, is it about these 5 positive things I said about myself? No, it's outside of that. It's negative. I don't need it. And then walk in your purpose. So I've been in that position where you beat yourself up over things because you think you're not good enough, right? And you think that, man, I don't know. I'm not strong enough to handle these things. And it stunts your growth. It takes away from who you are as a person. And it ain't cool. I'm here to tell you that. Like I look back at that, and like that's why I be trying to tell my son, like if he starts to think down on himself, I'm like, man, your dad used to feel the same way. But hey man, I realize that I have talents, I have gifts, and I might not be in the in crowd, but I'm gonna follow my path and see where I go. You never know where you can go if you stay in the same place. You still stuck at the start, looking at the finish line, talking about I'm gonna get there one day. You gonna have to take some steps to do it. Don't just stand there and hope that somebody gonna push you there because everybody gonna pass you by and you're gonna be standing there wondering what happened. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to hinder yourself and then play small and hide yourself. I don't want you to do that. I want you to really grow into who you are as a person. And it's a daily battle. It's a choice of believing in yourself rather believing lies. And like I said, some days are better than others. Of course, I know that people go through certain things, they experience losses, they have I don't know, different different circumstances that come their way, but I really want you to believe in yourself. I want to challenge you to find something positive about it and then grow off of that. That's kind of what I did with this podcast. My weakness is anxiety and overthinking. But what if I put it in a podcast form and talk about it and try to encourage people through that regardless? Maybe it lets my anxiety know that it's not as great as it is. Maybe it makes my mind and the overthinking that I do. Maybe it makes that take a step back and say, you don't have control over this anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want. I want it to be that way. I want to be able to outgrow that. I want to be able to shine. I want to be able to grow. And I know the best way for me to be able to do that is to stay consistent and stay disciplined every day in everything that I do. Um, and that's major. Believe in you. Believe in yourself. Talk true to yourself. Speak positive to yourself. Love yourself. Encourage yourself. Do not belittle yourself. And whatever you do, stop talking negative to you. That's self-hate. That's not self-love. That's not anything that's positive. That's not anything that's going to boost your self-esteem. Stop worrying about validation from everybody else. You don't need it. What do you believe about you? You believe you good? You probably are. You believe that you can make it through whatever circumstances you got? You probably can. Not in a conceited way, but in the way of knowing like, I'm putting myself in all these people. I can stand out too. Stop selling yourself short. Please stop selling yourself short. I'm telling you that from the bottom of my heart. I'm tired of watching people struggle within themselves because of what they say to themselves. And if you in that position where like you can't seem to break out of that, hey, go talk to somebody about it. Go get that therapy. Please. Like talk to someone who will not have a biased opinion. Talk to somebody who's going to hear you face value and try to help you the best way that you can. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I feel like I found clarity. And I want to encourage somebody who's been thinking about it, go do it. Like, don't even think about it anymore. Find your therapist, do the better help thing, whatever you need to do. But go talk about it so you can fully start to heal. So you can be a better version of you, a better version toward your future spouse, a better parent to your kids or future kids. I don't know your situation, but hey, like better yourself. Get yourself together so that way when you are in the position to lead, people know like you've been through some things, but you healed. And so I know if I fall off or if I go through something, I know I can turn to this person. You ain't got to be Clark Kent, put on a Superman cape or anything like that. I just want you to walk in your purpose and walk upright. I don't want you to walk with your head down. I used to do that. That was my actual walk. Now that I think about that, that was awkward. I don't know why I would do that. Now I walk with my head high for two reasons. One, I'm really learning how to love and believe in myself. But two, I need to see where I'm going. I need you to see where you're going. I don't need you to be an ostrich. I don't need you putting your head in the mud. Or, well, is that what they do? Is it Delta? I don't know. Whichever one put their head in the mud. Don't do that. Yeah, I really need to find my geography. Oh, geography. Oh man, I am tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. It's late, and I'm getting this podcast out. I told you it might be all over the place, but I'm really just trying to find ways to encourage you. That might not have been the right way, but oh boy, I'm here though, staying consistent. So if you see me every week, that means that I found a way to get this done. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing. And I want you to find the thing for you. Might not be a podcast, could be your business. Might not be a business, it could be just personal growth. I don't know. But what I want you to do is to not give up on it. I want you to stand successful in every situation that you face. I want you to believe in yourself no matter what the odds are, or no matter what people say, or what people think, or what people do. They are not you. They are not in your position. And honestly, you're in the position for a reason, because they would probably fold if they stood in the position that you're in. Maybe you're standing in it because you are the only one that can get it done. Maybe you're the successful one. Maybe you're the key. Maybe you're the main ingredient to this that people need to look at and go, oh, that's how you do it. Maybe you're the trendsetter. You won't know unless you face it. So go for it. You might be a little nervous, but understand that maybe the situation is something you've never done before. That's natural. But do it anyway. You'll find out who you truly are once you go through it and step on the other side. And I want you to challenge yourself. We ain't got that much time left in 2023. It's already August. I feel like I don't really remember most of the year because of how fast it went. Um, but that just means the time's moving, and I don't want you to keep wasting time because of you stunting your growth and not believing in yourself. Stop wasting your time, please. Utilize your time the right way. Put yourself in a position to be great. Find what moves you, what challenges you, what's going to strengthen you, and then embrace it and build. That's all we can do, man. That's all we can do is just really all we can do is our best. Work with what we got, put forth 100% effort, and we'll just figure out everything else after that. Everything else will fall in place if we're putting forth the best effort. I truly believe that. I've seen it happen. I've done it myself. I think it's a good thing. It'll happen. But you gotta at least try, right? You got to. There's no other way. There's no other way. Um, yeah. It's just something that I think about that a lot, man. I think about just what would have happened if I would have stopped after episode 1 and been like, I don't think it's good. You know? I felt so good when I saw that video had over 100 views. It's a lot for me. I don't do a lot of views, but to have over 100, that's really cool. That was my first one. And it got started by just me saying, "Hey, I'm going to try this thing out and I'm just going to see how far it goes." Whatever you're sitting on, whatever you are waiting for, I want you to get started today. Stop letting small, inconvenient, not serious situations stop you from becoming who you truly want to be and where you truly want to go. Because most of us stunt our own growth, man. Most of us will be the roadblock because it's easy to stop when we say stop. But why would you stunt your growth? I think you have to analyze what's inside of your heart. And I think you also have to analyze I don't know, what's your fear. Because once you figure out what your fear is, then you can really conquer that and turn your fears into strengths, which is like wild to say, but here's like, look at what I'm doing. My anxiety, I think I fear it because there's days where sometimes I don't feel anything, and then I'm sitting there going, I haven't felt anything in a while. Am I supposed to? Like, what's going on? What am I supposed to be doing? I have no idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then to come on a podcast and say, hey, man, let me talk to you about this anxiety. I know this is what's going on, but I still need you to keep going. It's what encourages me to do my podcast. And I hope it encourages you to overcome whatever it is that you are feeling, and you still try to put one foot in front of the other, because that's really all we got. The day that you get let me rephrase that. Every day you wake up is a blessing, right? And every day that you have is a gift. Now it's up to you to unwrap that gift and see what the day has in store for you. You could be one step away from your big breakthrough. You could be one step away from a new job, new promotion, new car, finding your spouse. You never know. You keep that gift wrapped and you never look into it, you just never know what you truly possess. You'll never know what talent you have that could lead you into the right direction of everything that you ever wanted. You can't be afraid to open it. But then when you open it, you can't be afraid to use the gift either. And I think the reason why most people don't use their gifts because they're afraid of what can happen if they do use it. And that sounds crazy because it's like, but it was given to you. So that means that it's meant for you to grow, right? Yeah, but sometimes that gift can be scary. Putting out a podcast can be scary because what if nobody hears you? And what if my success was solely based on getting the same amount of followers as say the most popular podcast and I just started it? Probably wouldn't have worked, right? But the gift was to keep going and see just how far this can go and who can I reach and who can I encourage. And I've been able to do that. To me, that's success. To me, I feel good about that. And who knows how far it goes? I could be one episode away from breaking into, number one podcast. I don't know. I'm gonna find out though, because I'm gonna keep going. And each week I'm gonna try to keep encouraging you. And through each post on TikTok or Instagram or each video on YouTube, I'm gonna try to give you something that allows you to take something with you each week and grow from it. Just feel like that's what God has blessed me to do. So I'm gonna do my best to give you that. I don't want to sell myself short. There's my cat behind me. I don't want to sell myself short. I don't want to put myself in a position to where I'm questioning all the things I could have done when and then realize and look back at all the time I had and see that I wasted it. I don't want to do that. It's not right for me. It's not right for my kids. It's not right for my wife. I got to make sure I do it the right way. Sometimes that's pressure, though. I'll admit it's hard sometimes because it's like, am I doing the right thing? Am I selling myself short? Have I done it? Are they proud of me? Are they happy for me? Do they think that I'm good enough? Am I good enough? And then you get in your mind and then you start overthinking and then everything unravels and all of that. And then that's when you just have to stop and take a deep breath and realize where you were before is not where you are now. Like I could look back in my life and see certain situations and be like, wow, I used to think that this was as good as it could get. And now I'm standing here going, there's still more. The best is yet to come. Like we got our family, we're getting established. And now that we're like building a foundation, who knows where we might end up? We're seeing our kids grow in special ways. My wife and I, like, we have these moments now where like years ago, we never thought that we have anybody to confide in, but now that we can confide in each other, like that's a great thing. I should do a podcast on relationships. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? See, I inspire myself. I just never know. Sometimes I just be rambling, but then I say some dope stuff and I'll be like, yo, that was fire. And I don't know. Maybe that helps you. I have no idea. But I'm gonna find out because I'm gonna keep doing my best to stay consistent and putting these podcasts out. But I want to make sure that I'm encouragement to you. I want to encourage you to go out and be the best version of you that you can be. Each day that you are blessed with to be on this earth standing above ground is another day and another opportunity to chase after your dreams, to achieve all your goals, but to also be a blessing to someone. And each day that you utilize the gift that has been given to you, you're growing and walking in your purpose. And I also know this, that if God gave it to you, not a soul can take it away from you. Not one. Because you are victorious. You have a spirit that is going to allow you to overcome any adversity because God put it in you. And because He put it in you, and because He gave it to you, oh, that's just going to make you even more powerful. So, in the famous words of Jimmy V, don't give up. Don't ever give up. In the famous words of my dad, don't be afraid to be great. And I guess maybe one day In the famous words of me, I believe in you. Now go believe in yourself, all right? I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. It's the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. We out.
These thoughts up in my head. Things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here. I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know.